All right, welcome to another third episode of weekly Backstage of a product team with our product team, Predrag, Marek, Alex, and me, Johan. And you now don't know who is who, but they are here. All right. So, forced intro. Um, okay, so let's get straight into the thing. And the thing is, what was the most exciting thing you did this week? Anyone wants to start, or you just want me to start, and so I can make time for you, so we can actually think about what was the most exciting thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I will actually have it. I will actually combine today my two things, my most exciting and frustrating things together. Think together. And it was actually the call with Jordan and Miguel we had with Marek and Alex together. It was a call where a whole team were trying to um, like align because I'm not sure if anyone knows, but if guys, I know, but for anyone watching this, they don't know. We are kind of two teams merged together. It's our team you see here. It's Nine Roads, and then their team, Bandits, and there's Jordan, Miguel, and other people. And we are working together for quite some time right now. And we had an issues together. Like it's hard combining two teams that are completely stand alone and have their own um, like mindsets and principles and ideas about world. And they are both strong on some like parts in their life, and now we want them to like collaborate together. There can be clash. And yeah, our team is more skeptical and more ordered, maybe more in system, and we are really connected together also, as we are in the same place in Prague. And Jordan's team and Miguel's team, we think they are a bit more like romantic and chaotic. Maybe they would not agree with that, but it's something like we feel from our perspective. But they are, for example, they are much more creative than we are. Like they can think in much like bigger in bigger like complexities, and we like to keep things simple. So, and for example, like we like meetings sometimes on time. They don't like meetings at all and at any time. So this was actually a really interesting discussion, like 3 hours, 4 hours discussion, long discussion with a lot of emotions, a lot of stress, to so we can say what is our mindset and what we think should be the general mindset and what they say should be the general mindset and general collaboration type. And it was really frustrating actually for me, but then like really exciting. And I feel that we moved to another place together, and the place is much better because, as I said, like we had many times that we felt working together terribly. So yeah, I think that's it. That's from my
Yeah,
side.
like you only like talk about the frustration, but also I would add like the most exciting thing about this was that like in the end we actually agreed like on that the way we are doing it right now, like how the collaboration works right now, is a little bit different from what we like expected at the beginning, but we got here like in a pretty natural way. So we only had to like articulate the way we collaborate right now, and to to have like a clear expectations to the future. And I think both me, you, and guys, like we were all quite happy at the end of the call. Like it's now clear and we know what to expect, and like there's a bright future ahead.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So yeah, I think it's also maybe relevant for anyone who is looking for co-founder. Like this is a similar situation, like right? Like we are working together for 6 7 years. Like me, Marek, and Predrag. Not Alex. Alex is like, how do you say naplava?
I
Yeah, like an immigrant.
I won't. I'm
Immigrant.
not translating this. I don't like this at all.
Yeah, but it's quite interesting. Like we know each other for like 10 years by now.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
together,
like
all of us know each other for 10
even
years.
Alex.
we worked together. Yeah, sorry, for like 6 years, 7 years with Predak and Marek, and we are the co-founders of Welder and other stuff, and we really know each other very well. And for example, when we talk to investors about like investment in Welder, that was like the strongest value for them we had, like this super strong team of us, we with hard skill together with soft skill and a lot of collaboration and a lot of like history together. But I can see how big the topic is about like, okay, how to find a
Yeah, like
co-founder.
I would say, like I have heard this many times, like stories of co-founders who like got together in the beginning, like both parties seem to be like pretty alright, pretty aligned, but only after like like shit hit the fan, like when it got tough, like one of the co-founder find out like the other one was like like a bad person, like it wasn't like just misalignment, but it was like actually a bad person like the other
Hmm.
one. And
Mm,
I would like to say like even if like Jordan and Miguel, they are like awesome person, I love those guys. Even after even when you find like people like them, even then it's difficult to like find alignment and really have like a good collaboration without any frustration.
yeah, exactly. I'm I'm thinking because the difference, like we are real similar with Jordan and Miguel. Like we are all creative person. We tend to be good and stuff like that. But still, there are little like differences. For example, that we believe that the team should have weekly meetings and on the time, and they are more free minded. So they are like, okay, if we don't do the meeting, nothing will happen. And just these small things can make so much frustration. It's crazy. So finding a co-founder is actually really hard. I don't know. Like, I don't have a advice for
Yeah,
that.
my
But I
advice
would
would
love
be
to.
like start very early when you are like pretty young. It's like with friends,
Yeah,
like it's not impossible, but it's much harder to find good friends when you are older, like 30, 40. It's more difficult.
I think the advice from the discussion yesterday is to always look for the middle ground between the two mindsets. Like, because you
yeah,
cannot
and
go you can go either way, like fully, because someone's always gonna be frustrated, and by compromising and going to the middle ground, there's always gonna be some frustration, but it's mostly gonna be everyone is gonna be frustrated, but just a little bit, instead of one side being frustrated a lot and the other side being happy.
yeah, I think like the general advice, as you mark, like the best way you can do it is find good friends that are smart and driven on high school. It will be easy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We did
And
that. But if that doesn't happen, and you are, because I see like many times on Reddit, for example, people looking for technical co-founders or for business co-founders. So if you do that, just take your time with that person. Like spend time together in best possible way, like on the same spot. Try to be as open as possible together, which is sometimes hard because you can have some fears. So like what about everything, so you don't say everything in open way, and that will happen. You cannot be totally open with a stranger, and that's why you need the time. So like take a year together um, before like committing into anything else. And if you commit into that, have in have in mind the option that it can go wrong. And as Alex said, always try to talk a lot and try the
yeah,
middle
I think it's
ground
like
and
very,
not
very similar to like a relationship,
yeah, and not try to find a compromise but consensus. So like each party is satisfied. It's not like each party is dissatisfied and the other is satisfied. uh and try to like if there is some misunderstanding, try to find like try to be like it's about empathy a lot also. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I would say like don't take things personally. It's like it's super important.
Yeah, exactly. So take your time, be open, be empathetic, but don't take things too personally. It's a business, and all of us have some fears and personal shits, and things can go wrong. But it's a business still, and be open minded. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'm not sure if Marek wants to go with his exciting thing, or it was the
Yeah,
same
like
as mine.
you actually stole my idea. Yeah, but as I said, it was really exciting in the end to see that we are aligned. And actually, yeah, maybe I can add another one, another thing which came from that call, because like Jordan and Miguel, they are doing awesome things. But as you said, like they don't, we don't get like meetings too much. We don't talk that much together because it's quite hard, because we are, everyone is in a different city, and their lifestyle is like it's hard for them to be, at a specific time on the call and everything. So it was like a first time in a while I heard like what's the progress on their side, and I was pretty happy about it, because they are doing awesome things. They are generating a lot of traction on their side, and I'm quite sure in a few months we are going to be where we really want to be.
Yeah, I think what you said right now is also important. Like, if you work for, if you have co-founder and you are working remotely, share a lot and talk a lot. Like, you need to be on the same page all the time. It's important.
Yeah, yeah, it's quite important.
Cool. All right. Um, Alex, pretty.
Yeah, I think mine is pretty short. I'm just excited about the We Hope testimonial, the article. I think it's amazing. Uh, the way they made it more inclusive, so they can interview more people, have a better chance at finding someone who's technically capable of doing this.
Yeah, maybe you can
Oh
give
yeah.
a bit of
Okay, so the
outline.
background is we are Welder is helping this project. It's called We Hope, and it's interviewing elderly people who lived through World War II or Second World War, however you call it. And yeah, with COVID, obviously they couldn't do it. They couldn't interview them, so they were looking for a better solution, and they came across Welder, and it's amazing. They wrote this whole article about it. They describe their approach. When they became more inclusive, they started interviewing people who took over immigrants in the war as well, which is these are the pretty much like not celebrated heroes of the war, because imagine taking an immigrant, you are not getting paid for it. It's just because you decided to take an immigrant. It's crazy. I think. Imagine today when you see all the hate on social media about immigrants. So I think that's amazing, and I'm preparing some posts about it, and I'm really proud that Felder could be the solution for this. That we can they can
Yeah, it's cool. I'm also happy. Yeah,
so that
I'm also happy. They decided to go for welder. I'm happy about that, and that they wrote us. They want like to be partner with us, kind of, so we could help them. It's nice. It's like it's so nice to see people using welder in
yeah,
these ways. Like, it's really nice. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's like
exactly.
you have the feeling like the tool you made is like actually making a difference in the world. Like for example, if I compare it with I don't know, like Made by Swords we were working on like years ago, it was quite cool. It was like nice little plugins, but you actually always have that feeling like this is not something substantial. Like it's not changing the world actually. It's just a Photoshop plugin for like fonts. But
Yeah, I
with
mean,
Blender, it's different. Like
yeah, I would say like full credit to them, because they're kind of making the difference, and we just gave them the platform to do it. But I'm just glad the paths crossed, and we can talk about it now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm really happy to see this. Really
Yeah, so that's my part.
nice.
I wanted to keep it short because it made me really happy this week.
Nice, nice one. Pretty, the one that can never speak about what he does because he is working for CIA.
Yeah,
Actually,
so guys, I'm still under NDA, so basically the only thing I think I can say this time, so that we don't have to cut like half of the video, is that it's going well and we will be releasing soon, so I'm happy about it. And yeah, that's about it, man. Anything more, and we will have to
I
cut.
love
So
Yeah, I will. I'm actually today. Maybe I will share something funny, and that's from yesterday's episode. You said that you are looking forward to hunting bugs, so I'm fixing bugs. So I'm releasing that today. So
perfect.
it's funny. Okay.
I think the funniest part of the first thing was Predrag saying, "Well, I'm under NDA, so basically I'm happy," and and that's it. Nothing more to say.
Yeah. All right. So what about the frustrating thing, like challenging thing? I already said mine. It was the discussion. For me, the discussions are hard. Sometimes it can be like nerving. I don't like to get into the conflicts with people I know. I like, I know, and I know that with, for example, with you guys, it's okay for me. Like I know you so well that it's okay. But for example, with Jordan, sometimes can be hard. Um, but I think even those moments are look, or I think those moments are important a lot. Like those you don't like to push on your business, to do the hard discussions. And I had these discussions a lot, like back in time when we were running clowns, and we had more people under ourselves. I had the discussions quite a lot, and it was always challenging, but always I could learn a lot, and I always felt better. So for anyone who is hesitating out there to do these kind of discussions, or who thinks they should say something to another person, to their superior or to their, uh, so how do you say, like the person below you?
Person below you, man. That's not cool. I think you are below
Okay.
me, man.
Do the
I think
discussion.
there's like
It will be
even
better if
even
you do
like
it
a
with,
whole
if you
video from
if
Y Combinator's Michael Siebel, and he talks about like you should have difficult conversations with your co-founders. It's like one of the most fundamental things you should do if you want your startup to succeed.
Yeah. So if you are there and you hesitate about having a difficult discussion with your co-founder or anyone else in your company or your partner, just do it, and do it with open heart, a lot of empathy, and a lot of listening, and it will be good for everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, Johan, the most frustrating and exciting thing is the same for you this week?
he's cheating.
Okay.
Yep. Which is exciting. It's interesting. I'm cheating a bit, but it's interesting, right? Like sometimes
Yeah,
it
okay.
can be like
Don't
that.
don't get used to this, okay? Because now we are stranded here, having to say two things, and we just
Yeah, like
cheated the system.
actually, I can continue with the most frustrating thing, and it's this bug which actually happened like on this call. It's like,
Oh no.
fuck, this is going to be hard to debug, but it's like super important to debug it because it's like, you know, it's
I
not
thought
like a
it
small
was
bug,
I
it's
thought
like
it
a
was on
too much
Twilio's side.
important when it happens.
Wasn't it on Twilio's side?
Yeah, maybe. It's hard to say.
Yeah, but apparently we are not paying enough for them to fix it. So basically, we have to solve it ourselves.
Brady, you wanna go?
Yeah, it was perfect. There is zero frustration. Zero.
I believe you. I believe you, man.
I'm not sure if Predrag is like Zen master,
Well, it's a part
and
of the
Buddhist.
contract, you know. He's getting
Yeah, there is like written, don't be frustrated. So I'm just abiding by the contract.
it's like, how is it going? I can't complain.
Yeah.
No, but really, like from the Twisto, I'm not really like frustrated in any way because like it's actually going well so far, and like the big team is working on it, and we are on track. So I'm not even sure like if you can be
Yeah,
frustrated.
actually, I remember yesterday Predrag was frustrated about like Django admin not being able to, do some
Yeah,
daily
that's true.
feature.
Yeah,
He
share
was like,
these things.
"Fuck
This is the
Django admin,
spicy
it's
thing
so
I want to.
shitty."
Yeah, we were actually like yesterday we were talking about it, Mark, if it's actually a good idea to be using like Django admin as your main like admin interface for the entire company. It's basically a CRM because like for example, and like which is a pretty big company with like 150 people.
And it's basically like a bank.
Yeah, it's basically a bank. It's using Django admin, and there is like a lot of limitations with that approach. But I also like I understand why they like took it. And for example, we have a lounge which is like our shoe eShop, and as a backend, we are using like the Django admin or like the Django interface that you get by default with Python. And there is also like a lot of limitations. So we were like discussing alternatives with Mark and stuff like that, and we basically didn't find any. So we decided Django admin is
There's
still
no
pretty good.
silver bullet, you know. You have to decide like every time you do something, you have to decide which approach is the
Yeah.
best.
And if there wasn't a good alternative, would it be easy to transfer, or if you
Yeah,
not
actually,
I'm not
there
sure
are
how to call
basically
it,
like
but
three alternatives. You can use like default Django admin. You can use something like Forester or Forest. How is it called? That's like a third party, you know, like a dashboard where you integrate, or you
Mhm.
can build like totally custom solution, like you know, like in React or in Bootstrap or anything. And like every time you do something, you have to decide which one is the best for the current use case. And also you can combine them, you know, like you can have a Django admin and like a custom page for something more
And is
different.
it easy to switch, or
Not really. Actually, I would say not
Like
really.
if you invest like many years of development into doing with like a Django admin, like it would be pretty difficult to switch somewhere
mm,
else. But in the beginning, it's like you can combine, you can switch, like when you have not invested in it.
It's quite an interesting topic. Like for many people, I believe the like you are starting a new project, you want it to be simple as possible because the backstage, the back end of everything, the admin of everything is not that important, like not for the business success at that stage. But you know that if you will scale, it can really be a rock on your back. And but as you said, if you decide to go with it, with the Django admin, it can get really bad over the time and really hard to switch. But if you decide to go with Forester or some, maybe Forester can be good, I'm not sure. But with self-made solution, you will also spend too much time
Yeah,
on that. So it's really
Yeah,
hard
but
to.
it's
actually,
really
I have.
it's biggest the biggest problem is if you have like a company with just like a lot of CC work basically. So you have a lot of support and stuff like that. For example, for Welder, I think it will be better because like we don't really have that much work in admin actually. Like you just have to check some videos and stuff like that. But like the entire bank is basically run from your Django admin, you know. And I think that's a little bit like I think on the side where it's difficult basically to use, or it can be at least.
Yeah, I would say like in general, for example, it worked for Welder pretty well. I would say start with nothing, you know, do everything in a database, like, you know, you don't need anything at the beginning, and only build the functionality for the things you know you have to do repeatedly. Because, for example, I don't know, I don't remember like the last time this happened, but usually when we started the project we were thinking like or I was thinking like that, okay, this needs to be in the admin interface, this needs to be there, this needs to be there, and it's a lot of work, and actually most of the buttons and things, you know, would be used like maybe once a year or something, so there doesn't need to be an interface for that. So I would say like, you know, only when you see it's going to be done repeatedly or it has been done repeatedly, then you should automate it and make a, you know, button or anything for it.
Nice. That was a good topic. I like it. We will have actually really like at least two good clips today out of this. I
Hmm.
like that. All right, Alex. Give me your
okay,
frustration.
my
Come,
frustration comes from a lot of emails
me.
and Johan. A lot of emails and a lot of postponing of calls, and I realize how much effort it takes to have it all planned, and I'm kind of glad I took over because I know Johan's doing all kind of stuff, and if he also has to do this, then it's kind of crazy. So I'm this week I got you just stop, man.
I'm
you're,
trying to
you're
make a heart
distracting
like.
me with your shapes and stuff.
Sorry.
Uh, no, I just this week I'm spending trying to sell welder and also coming up with a better system to have all the calls and stuff because it's crazy the amount of emails. I was doing the referrals as well, and Mixmax is just pushing me, nudging me to follow up. I need to turn that off because I always think someone responded. It's just the system is flawed, man. I need to work on it. But yeah, it's not that frustrating. Overall, this week was good for me. I think December will be nice.
Nice. This was nice. Yeah. Cool. I think we have it. It was actually a really nice episode with good energy and a lot of insights. I feel like we get more and more in the flow, so I'm happy about that. Um, yeah. Anyone wants to say
Yeah,
anything?
hopefully there's no drift on my side.
Yeah, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. I believe it.
All right.
Yeah, I would like to say like this week was actually pretty good. I think this is how it should be. Like in general, if you are doing business or if you are doing like anything in your life in general, most of the time it should be like, okay, like all right, everything's fine. It can be frustrating, but it shouldn't be, most of the time. It should be just a little bit.
Yeah, it's true. For me, it's a bit different. Like on my side, I feel these things. It's like more like this.
Yeah, it's always like this, but I think like, you know, fuck this. A lot of people in business mostly think that like, it should be super challenging. Like it should be mostly shitty. It should be like, working in the dirt, like most of the time. But I don't think this is true. Like I think it should mostly be fun. And yeah, sometimes it can be challenging, sometimes it can be frustrating, but that's not why you are doing it. Like you are actually doing it to have fun.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you are
true.
right.
That's
It
true.
should be like that.
And
Like
if it's not like that, I
that should
think
be the goal.
people in general should like think through. Maybe not do like
Yeah,
a 180-degree like a turn, but maybe think a little bit about it. What can be changed and how to have more fun.
it's true. It should be like that. Like you should aim for this. This is the right way, I believe. It's. I have to say, it's hard for me. Like I'm mostly, oh, this is so hard, it's so fucked up, and I cannot do it anymore, and so many things, and I'm overwhelmed and exhausted. And then on the other side, like I'm so happy, it's so cool, we got so many new signups, and whoa, it's going well. And you're like, fuck, it's again fucked up. So I need to work on to be more in the middle and be like, yeah, it's not going well right now, but I like it still, and yeah, it's fine,
Yeah,
but I like it still.
Yeah, but that 1 week when I was like, I'm not even frustrated. I'm just excited. I was after this thing. I was like, damn, do I even work? Why am I not frustrated? It's like when you're frustrated, you know you are working hard on something, and it's like giving you trouble. But when that feeling is gone, you're just wondering if you even worked hard enough or if you even did something.
Yeah, but it's interesting topic. Like I feel that sometimes I feel that too, but I think it's like it doesn't have to be
Yeah, for
connected.
sure.
It's not connected. Like it's the best way when you feel like you are not exhausted and not frustrated, but and you don't punish yourself that you did, or you did a lot of work and you will not feel frustrated. You
Yeah,
shouldn't
yeah,
you
punish
should
like
yourself
enjoy
for
it
that.
definitely.
yeah, like you should be motivated by by the result, not by how much frustration you felt. But yeah, it's natural. Like if you are
Yeah,
frustrated,
because
you have a
people are
feeling
used.
that you have accomplished a lot. You
Yeah, it's like that. People are used to, and it's our nature to be looking for and feel satisfied by being exhausted, punished, and like tear down, because in history that was something that actually made
Yeah,
you
if you actually
stronger.
want to
And
like fulfill this feeling in your life, you should start doing sports because there you can do it
yeah,
as much as you can. Like
I was just wanted to say that in history it was like when you were hunting the mammoths and the bears and stuff like that. It was like you came back and you were like exhausted and maybe injured, but you had the feeling, okay, I brought the meat to my family and
And
we'll
then you
live
died
another
from
day,
infection,
right?
basically. That's the usual story.
Did you die from salmonella?
Plot twist. Yeah, but But actually, it's something that we as humans have, I believe, really deeply in us and in our brain. So if you don't have that, you don't feel satisfied because it's normal for us from our history. And if you sit all day at the computer, you like artificially make this frustration so you can feel it. And as Marek said, like the best way to get this going, like this feeling, which is important for us, is to get a workout and get out and run and get the energy flowing. Like beat yourself in a good way, so you can then don't have to do it in artificial way.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's how the thoughts sounded at the times they were hunting mammoths. there were there was no English, man. It was like hunga bunga.
Yeah, maybe you can add
All
like a
right.
subtitle, like
Uh,
All right, I think this is it. It was a nice episode. I like this one. Good energy. Thank you, guys. Everyone who is watching until this time, thank you. And leave a comment. I'm actually like looking all the time on YouTube. If someone left a comment, I want to respond to comments. Leave a comment.
Please.
All right.
See
Bye,
ya.
guys.
bye
see
bye.
you.